Houston police are chasing a violent carjacking suspect here, and he is going to cause a humongous traffic collision, and it is chaos. Let's listen in on the badge cams.
Oh shit. 5-3 cracked up. Major. Oh shit. Where at? Get the fuck out! Do not move! Do not fucking move! Do not move! Do not move! Let me see your fucking hands now! Let me see your fucking hands! Dallas, this way, bro, this way! Fuck! Ah! Ah! Fuck! Ah!
How about you shut up?
Get on the ground! Let me see him!
Fuck, the wonder found out. What? I'm sure you wanted to be a rocket scientist.
Fuck! Officer down! Officer down!
Wah! Officer down!
Stay down, man! Stay down! Roll HFD, we got an officer down!
Nobody gives a heck.
Move! Guys, I need help up here.
Breathe! Breathe! They'd say that if he fucking had a hangman. Not how you thought, how it would.
Watch out! Crossfire! Crossfire!
Right?
Hey, drop the car!
I thought you just get a bonus shooting at a wrecked car.
Hey!
Turns out the wrecked car had ammunition.
He's in the car! In
The
the
wreck
car!
had something to say about that though, huh? Didn't it?
Fire! Hey! Move! Hey, get him! Get him!
This nigga is getting fucking drugged. Okay, you crybaby, bro.
Officer down! Officer down! Officer down! Over here! Over here! Right here! You're okay, bro! You're okay, breathe! Put your gun down! Put your gun down! You're okay! You're gonna be
Put
okay.
your gun,
Where you at?
bro.
Listen.
Put handcuffs on him, man. He has a gun. Put handcuffs on him.
Hold my hand! Hold my hand! Hold my hand! Hold my hand! Hey, he's coming to you! Coming to you! Where's he at? Where's he at? He's in the car! In the car! Fire! Hey! Hey, it's right there!
Just shooting at a downed corpse here.
I got one suspect down. He's still moving. He's still moving. You okay? You okay?
Oh my god, bro. They're using her as a fucking. Imagine. Oh my god.
He's down. He's down.
Disgusting.
Hey, stop moving.
They used that as cover.
Stay right. Get out of the way. way!
Don't let them try to 5, 10, 12.
This lady had to get out herself. Like,
Stop moving!
they got a shot. Keep shooting through that vehicle. Yo, man, you shooting at a dude just like writhing in pain. That's all you doing. I know you want him to die, but he's not dead yet. Does he have a gun though? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. You're just shooting at corpse now. Not yet corpse. Trying to make sure, I guess. How?
Stop moving!
Shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, you're good, gang. Come around on the side.
Gang. You heard that?
That silver car is occupied by a random citizen.
Yeah, he's moving. He's not dead yet.
He's on the ground over here. Come up. Stop moving!
Yeah. I'm actively shooting at
He's
him.
on that side right there. He's on the side right there. Watch his hands.
We need HFD to the location. What's the status? HFD's en route.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's all you wanted to do anyway. Come on.
I've sped up the end for
I
the
bet
sake
he
of time.
wasn't
You can
even
watch the whole
grabbing.
thing at the links that I have provided in the
And guess what? We
description.
can't see it on
And
the body
it
cam,
is
so
a mess
whatever.
towards the
It's
end.
their
Now
word.
the officers are going to get all the people, that were in these cars out of them. Our perp ended up taking the freeway temperature challenge. Our officer survived.
Shut
there
the
was
fuck
a bit of
up,
social
devil.
media storm because the guy that helped pull that officer out, I think, was a former felon who live streamed him pulling an officer out of a gunfight. Not exactly the smartest thing to do that I've ever heard in my life, the live streaming part, but he helped, so kudos to him for that. And again, the officer made a full recovery.
I thought every bad guy is a bad guy. What happened?
It is Pandalarium. It's crazy
I
stuff.
thought it was just strictly
I
good
mean,
guys and
obviously,
bad
this
guys.
one is just a
How come a
disaster from
felon was
beginning
able to
end,
help?
and
Oh
all
my
because
God.
of the perp's
What are we
actions,
doing?
right? So
Is
he
the
bears
felon
responsibility
white?
for everything that's going on
Does
here.
that make him
But think about the
redeemable?
officers and this first officer. I mean,
Creepy
really, Mike, we
as
say this all the time that you're in an
bootlicking
initiative
weirdos,
deficit,
you know what I
and
mean?
as
They're
an
like, this
officer,
is
that's
just
true.
different
This guy is
types,
bad
man.
juju, this is a felony stop. I've got a gun out. But as we stop the action here when the gunfire happens, I can't see anything here. Now, granted, the badge cam, the body worn camera doesn't show what the officer can see. We don't have the same point of view. We don't have the optical clarity that the officer has, even in high definition, or any of those things. But I can't see where he can see even a suspect here. And so sometimes you're just gonna get got. And he gets shot in his leg.
Get
and
God.
he rolls
They
over
love
from the
using
two mic.
that.
And I know some people are going to say, gosh, you got to stay in the
Oh
fight.
my God,
I will
man.
say that.
They
from
hate
everything I
black
know, I've
people,
never
but
been
they
shot
love
in the
using
femur
that black
myself,
shit,
but
right?
From everything I've been told, being hit in the femur is probably
Crazy.
one of the most painful experiences imaginable. And so I don't blame him for going down and getting out of the fight.
Yeah, 100%, John. There's so much going on here. Understand you were just in a pursuit, right? That pursuit terminated in a terrible accident. There's there's entire pieces of the suspension of that car that aren't in that car anymore. Very violent accident. What's going through your head in this moment as the law enforcement officer? Where are my partners? Where is the bad guy? I can't see him. There's a side curtain airbag in my way. The windows are
That
tinted.
bad
There's
guy.
smoke everywhere.
That's how easy that is for them.
Are there injured third parties? All these things are
trivialize, like,
competing for
murdering
your
people.
attention at the same time.
It's just a
there
bad
could be
guy.
people
It's
dying in these
nothing
other
else.
cars. He has
It's
no
not a human
idea.
being.
So the mental overload here is very, very real. I think he handled himself extremely well. And then he gets shot. and manages not to lose his mind. But to back
I
up what you
think he
said,
lost his
as I
mind.
understand it, a break of the femur or getting shot in the femur is evidently excruciatingly painful, like next level, like blindingly painful. So I think under the circumstances, he did his best. Now, if he were a trigger-happy cop, like so many people accuse cops of being, he would have just lit up the side of that car, you know, with gunfire. He didn't do that. He stood there looking for a target.
Accused
Didn't
of
find one.
being
And got
like
shot
that's
first.
an impossibility,
Totally
I
agree
guess,
with all
huh?
of that. So,
They
okay,
are
he
no
goes down,
trigger
I
happy
totally
guys.
understand that. He's
That's
got other
funny stuff,
officers
man.
who can stay in the fight.
Don't let them gaslight you
Mike,
into that
I'm
type of
hesitant
shit.
to be really very critical of officers sometimes, but this second officer's
No,
back now,
you're not.
I gotta be honest with
No,
you. I
you're
don't see
not,
anything
man.
here that I really have anything
The
good to say about. So
gaslighting
we
is
see
in
the second
effect.
officer who's partner. I need to be
Just
in this fight because my
cosplay
partner is
as a
down,
guy that
okay?
criticizes
but that
cops.
grip is
You creating balance
egregiously
like
bad.
that.
Then he fixes it,
Make
takes his
yourself
hand off the
look
gun
a little
again,
bit more
and I
legit.
want to say this. There is a chance to put this guy down and put him down quickly. He shoots your partner and then
I'm not
jumps out
biased.
the window, and now you've got a chance to stop him, but that janky grip says you're not going to hit anything. I guarantee you're not going to hit anything with that kind of a messed up grip. And because of that, you're putting officers, the private citizens that are in the car next to you, and everyone else at risk. And you know, Mike, I've never done the job, but if you're not going to take the task seriously enough
There
to
he
gain the
is.
skills necessary to use your gun in an emergency, then it's not a job that you should take.
Yeah, you know, I think some folks would say, and they'd be
Interesting.
right, there's utter
Judgy.
chaos in this situation. It is absolutely out of
judges.
control, chaotic. Nothing makes any sense. You're now taking in all these stimuli. As I said earlier, the accident, the pursuit, your adrenaline's pumping, your blood's pumping. But none of those things excuse this grip. Now, I don't know if maybe it's some sort of modified soul that he's got messed up with. I'm not sure what's happening. We've seen that grip before, and we've seen it go really, really poorly. We've seen officers get injured because they couldn't return fire, or they fired once and broke their thumb in the process. I hate everything about it. I guarantee you, no one is beating themselves up more than this officer about this performance here. Yeah, you gotta have the skill set to do their job, to do that properly under stress, under incredible stress, which he was. But there's no way that he trained properly, and somehow this is the grip he ended up with. It didn't just happen. This is a training scar, a training error of some sort. I don't know what. But if you're watching this in training, don't let this be you.
And don't let your officers hit the streets with this. This should have been fixed by his academy instructors. Should have been fixed by his FTO. Maybe it was, and he's just a mess. Okay, fine. That's a case you got to fix yourself. But for everyone else, hold your guys accountable. He finally gets something that might be considered not an egregiously bad grip, and now he's using a private citizen as cover.
That
He's
gun
telling
shit
him,
must
"Stay
be
down in
the
here."
issue, right?
You got
It
to
just,
recognize,
like,
man. Okay, go use your
introduces-
car,
like, not
fine,
that
but
there
don't use
wouldn't
an
be, like,
innocent bystander as cover to try to figure out.
you know,
And all
bias
these
and
follow-up
shit.
actions, Mike, it just seems somebody who is panicking. I'm going to move my
corruption.
patrol car further away.
But
I'm going to run all the way to the
the
barricade
jumping
and run
to
around.
gunfire,
I struggle
murder
to
and
see
all that.
any kind of things here that is remotely within what he's
I'm
been
not saying
trained
only
to do.
cops should have guns. No,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
not
and
what
I
I'm
hate to
trying
pile
say.
on this guy,
I'm
but
thinking, like,
yeah, everything
there
about
are
this
less,
is a bit of a
obviously,
cluster. It seems like he's just got that
shootings and
cognitive
just generally
overload,
people
and
dying.
he's trying to
Like
figure out what to
violent
do here. And in the process,
violent
he's switching hands.
circumstances.
He's moving his car for reasons I don't understand.
Germany than in America.
Hiding
right?
behind, I understand hiding behind a car. Once you know that car is occupied, understand that you're now potentially drawing the fire of the bad guy towards an innocent third party. You can't do that. The minute you realize, okay, I have an occupied vehicle, right then is when you need to move and not be there anymore. You can't control what the suspect's going to do, but that's no bueno. I just don't know what was going through this officer's head. Like you said, I think the word, unfortunately, is just panic.
Yep. Now, third officer here shows up, starts to see, okay, I have a down officer, courageous here, to go out into where there's fire and say, man, I'm gonna drag my buddy. I might suggest put the gun away because you don't want a sympathetic negligent discharge that could endanger you, endanger the downed officer. Okay, fine. Now, the private citizen, also commendable. I'm gonna get in here and help. Put your freaking phone away. Stop live streaming on the grams if you're actually going to help, because that is kind of bad. Now, I will say he did a really good job, though, of saying, hey, buddy, I'm here. I wanna help you. Hold my hand. It'll be okay. That's great. A little bit better is to have your first aid kit on your person and actually do some work and know, okay, I may not need to put a tourniquet on here, but I can't tell, so I'm gonna put it on high and tight and they'll figure it out later.
Yeah, 100%. And remember, if you're the guy that can,
Man, like eye rolling while he's congratulating the guy on helping. Like realistically, he's like putting himself in this situation. What I would have done if I was like the because that's all he can be, right? He's not a cop. He's a bitch-ass bystander that makes a choice to intervene or not. That's all you can be, man. And in that situation, I would have done it better. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tourniquet. Apply a tourniquet. Just out of the blue, this supposed felon has a tourniquet, I guess. Like, why are you trying to make him an officer now? When he's just a civilian. He just happened to help. Don't help cops, guys. Don't help them. Not worth the hassle, as they say.
Help save that police officer. You can have police officers all over the country buy you beer for free for the rest of your life, which is always a nice perk. Understand that if you are and I want to address this, John, if you are a citizen, a civilian, a non-LEO, and you find yourself in the middle of something like this, it is up to you whether or not you want to get involved. I don't understand the phone thing. It's frankly disappointing. I would have preferred to see him just put that phone away and get in there and do what he was there to do. And understand you could be responding to something like this. You know, we talk about, John's had to stop a couple times and deploy his trauma kit, his personal IFAC to help someone who's been in an accident. Well, you could be in the middle of something like this rather than just a regular car accident and be the guy or gal who's able to save the life of a police officer or a third party. So this is a great endorsement of keeping medical, even if you're not law enforcement or
police
fire
officers
keep something in your car that could save you or a third party. The officer holding the gun,
deceased,
when
shit like that.
I understand it. I
You know
understand
what I
the
mean?
feeling. I really do. Because you're out there and your cheese is hanging out in the
That's the
wind,
thing
and
that has
you don't
happened
want to be
before.
out there without a gun in your hand, but you just got to put it away because the possibility of maybe shooting yourself or your
It's
partner
also
or the
really,
guy trying to help you is very real.
Okay, on to the fourth officer here. He's going to pile out. Again,
The guard,
marksmanship
you know what I
so
mean? Just
important
assume
in this
that
task. So crazy. We got
anyone would
bystanders.
have
I can't
like
send
this.
rounds over the berm here and, into the wild blue yonder, into innocent people. And I want to say, as we're going to stop it here in just a second, he's got another great opportunity to stop this guy a little sooner with an easier shot. If I will remember, grip is the master, sight set the pace, trigger is the servant, and I can get this guy here who is still trying to carjack other cars after having shot a cop. And this is exactly how people get shot in the back in entirely justifiable ways. And I just want everyone in our community, not just officers, but private citizens, to recognize, does this guy need to be shot? Yes, 100%. Does he need to be shot in the back? Yes, repeatedly until he lies down and stops being a threat to everyone. This is how that kind of stuff happens. And I think, Mike, as they continued to shoot at him, they finally got him on the ground. Goodness sakes, finally somebody hit him with a round. But why do I continue to shoot at him when he's on the ground? He still has a gun right next to him in his hand. He's not shooting at me with it, but he has just shot one of my partners with it, carjacked a car, trying to carjack more. Is this guy continuing to be a deadly threat? Yeah, he is. And I don't have any problems with them continuing to put rounds on him while he's wiggling around.
Yeah, fortunately, after that pause that you inserted there of showing that guy, his entire torso being available to be shot, fortunately, I don't think anyone else, any innocent third parties were injured after that. But man, in that moment, you need two hands on the gun, complete confidence in your marksmanship in that moment, and to burn that guy to the ground because he's actively trying to victimize another person after all the people he's injured and the officer that he shot. That moment is the moment of truth when you could have ended this and you didn't. And I'm sure, again, this officer's probably beat himself up because he missed that opportunity. But man, your marksmanship is something that you have to have extreme confidence in any circumstances, under any circumstances at all. And I just feel like maybe he wasn't sure he could make that shot. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I would have liked to have seen him end this a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and so listen, chaotic situation, right? I think these officers, by and large, did a pretty darn okay job, right? Especially officers 3 and 4. I don't have any problems with officer number 1, officer number 2. Man, bad, not a good showing. Probably the worst showing that we could really imagine in many ways. And so let's learn the lessons here, good and bad. I'm grateful that more people weren't badly hurt. Thankful that the officer is going to make a full recovery who was shot. And the guy that, ended up causing all of this drama went and met his maker. I don't envy him that day. Let's learn that, everyone, as we cover our ASP.
That's a person that thinks he's infallible. The maker and shit. Too much of that, man. Too much babbling, bro. You know what I mean? There's a way to do these type of videos without... especially if you pretend to be like this wholesome type.